One Zambia, one nation. Welcome to Zanis News. I'm your presenter, Mwangala Kapandola. Let's take you through the headlines. All-inclusive agriculture support program to address farmers' needs. Zambians called to participate in National Day of Prayer. Mushota School receives solar-powered water system. And now the news in detail. Government says it wants to ensure an all-inclusive agriculture support program in the 2023-2024 farming season tailored at needs of a particular area and terrain. Minister of Agriculture, Mutolo Piri, says that his ministry will devise a more comprehensive farmer support program, citing Western Province as one such area which needs specific seedlings for its terrain. Here's a report. Government says it wants to ensure an all-inclusive agriculture support program in the 2023-2024 farming season tailored at addressing the specific needs of a particular area. Minister of Agriculture, Mutolo Piri, says government wants to devise a more comprehensive farmer support program, citing Western Province as one such area which needs specific seedlings for its terrain.
I can assure you that come next year, our FISI program in Western Province is going to be tailored to fit what Western Province needs. So why shouldn't we give our farmers cashew nut? Why shouldn't we give our farmers, that which they are ready and which the soils would accept and absorb?
And a farmer in Mabumbu area has appealed to government to help create a ready market for locally grown agricultural products.
Sakupa hape kwa kalulo ya market. Luali manga, luali miluli. Luali zanga lodi wanachoro mwendima traksi, luali sakwa misika. Kono market ya hiyo kamuso tireo. Kimuso bona hala kuli ukalo swala. Luali kupela kumina. Kuli muru tuse kwa teni. Haiba kuna niza musika ma programu za abanga teni yale murufuma nere kwa teni batu bako na kutoro njombolo langa.
Western Province Minister Kapelo Mbangweta says government is looking at a number of activities in the agriculture sector.
This government is encouraging the idea that each province must have a farm block, and the big investments should be put there in terms of infrastructure and so on, so that the productivity goes up. Okay, so here in Mongo, as a typical example, one thing we want to look at is the growing of rice, which has been grown traditionally for a long time, but the productivity in that area has not been very good. Yeah, so we then look at possibilities of having an how-to-grower scheme. An institution or a group of people partner together, put money in the arrangement, extension services, fertilizer support, knowledge, enhance the seed, and then assured market.
For Zanis News, Mwangala Kapandula reporting in Mongo, Western Province. From Northern Province, Zambia United National Freedom Fighters Association Northern Province Secretary Kapembwa Simuchile says national unity is key to development and reconciliation. Taonga Nkoma has more in the following report.
Zambia has enjoyed peace and coexistence since it attained independence in 1964. And as the country prepares to commemorate its 58th independence anniversary, the Zambia United National Freedom Fighters Association in Northern Province wants every Zambian to continue promoting peace and unity. Provincial Secretary for the association, Kapembwa Simuchile, said peace is important in spearheading economic development.
Tatumfa bwino tatumona bwino kusamuna bantu balelwa ngabalelwa kyonse kyo muri tontonganya tachaise kana mwakatana watule lipe polyeso kutilati ito tuli mchalo ichi tufune twa omana kapi twaikatana na fefe twaikatene ile tungaleta if it was for the it is for the economic purpose, if we quality for the political purpose.
Joseph Nkumbula, who turned 100 years old in June, said peace is a key word which people should embrace in celebrating this year's independence. Bernard Chanda is the association's Provincial Information and Publicity Secretary.
Tualika tene nangu tuabera luwingu baisa je tulebomba chintu chinga chimote chichireyo cha kulwila kulupia yatualeria bale tusunga fye moto afika mumushi umo aima afika kulya nangu bana mao baleta pamenshi mwabayo watu linenzala mfwe bayi wa mwine mushi bana yo bwali tuale kwata fya kuchinja nawo ishi uko mkuluisha ngemwa mnandi achiralandira twasa chitana chiwe uchitashani.
Zambia will this year celebrate its 58th independence under the theme Promoting Inclusiveness Towards a Sustainable Social and Economic Recovery. Taonga Nkoma, reporting for Zanis in Kasama.
In Lusaka province, the church is calling on members of the public to observe and participate in the National Day of Prayer and Fasting, which falls on October 18th, 2022. Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia, EFZ Executive Director Andrew Mwenda says Zambians should not miss this opportunity to pray for the nation. Sharon Walia has the rest of the story.
Zambia has advanced in preparations to commemorate 7 years of hosting the National Day of Prayer, Fasting and Reconciliation. This day, set for Tuesday, October 18th, 2022, is a day set aside for the nation to join hands together in prayer. Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia Executive Director Andrew Mwenda has called on Zambians to use this opportunity to pray against the unacceptable vices the country is facing.
During this time of prayer, beyond just the program and the line-up of prayer items, we are praying for the peace of this country. We are praying against the vices and against all the forces of darkness that have been trying to infiltrate this country and bring in what I would call wickedness in the country.
And the National Day of Prayer, Fasting and Reconciliation Organizing Committee Chairperson Esther Jani expects Zambians to remain united and peaceful in order to maintain the One Zambia, One Nation motto.
This year, what are we saying? That we want to see prosperity in our land. And for us to see prosperity in our land, there must be unity, there must be peace, there must be integration. And as well as people must raise up and wake. This year what we are saying, after we finish prayer, people should not lazy around. They should not sleep. They should raise up and wake.
Department of Religious Affairs has confirmed that the President will officiate this year's commemoration.
I'm confident to state that the head of state will be the guest of honor during the 18th of October 2022, the Day of National Prayer.
The day will be commemorated under the theme, Promoting National Unity, Peace and Integration for a Prosperous Zambia through Hard Work. Reporting for Zanis in Lusaka, Sharon Walia.
The Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development has revealed that the process of amending the Constituency Development Fund (CDF) Act number 11 of 2018 is waiting for approval from Cabinet. Miles Kavengo reports that Permanent Secretary for Technical Services Nicholas Piri says once approved, a number of changes will take effect in the processing and disbursement of the funds to beneficiaries.
The Constituency Development Funds, CDF, facilitate for the deliverance of developmental projects directly to the community in various constituencies. However, The provision of accessing these funds remains uneasy due to the centralized process of approving proposed projects. In this regard, the government is in the process of amending the CDF Act Number 11 of 2018 in order to simplify the review of the CDF guidelines. Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development Permanent Secretary for Technical Services, Nicholas Piri, says the amendment of the Act awaits approval by Cabinet Office.
Government is in the process of reviewing both the CDF Act number 11 of 2018 as well as the CDF guidelines. You may want to appreciate that these two processes actually have an interface. But what you need to do first is to review the Act, and then after you review the Act, then you can comprehensively revisit the guidelines.
Mr. Piri has cited some of the changes likely to be made once the review process is complete.
The expectation is that local authorities now, in implementing CDF projects, they can begin to absorb that labor that we have trained. But obviously for that to happen, we need to streamline the guidelines, to have a database of the people we are training, to encourage them to form cooperatives and to have the records of these cooperatives so that when construction jobs, carpentry jobs are advertised, then we can have a priority list which will include the people that are graduating from these skills development centers.
Meanwhile, Zambia Council for Social Development, ZCSD Executive Director, Leah Mitava, highlights some of the expectations from the simplified CDF guidelines.
One of the recommendations that we strongly put across is that the guidelines should recognize the role of capacity enhancement and ensure that this is done so that all the stakeholders that are involved at the various stages in CDF administration actually know what their roles are. And I think there has to be that clear separation of roles. The other reason I think why we have not performed well in CDF implementation has to do with the centralized approach that we have. We've devolved and taken the fund out there closer to the people, and we have CDF committees that we've put in place. But I think we're not utilizing them efficiently and effectively.
Miles Kavingo for Zanis in Lusaka.
The Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, DMMU, has procured building materials worth over 40,000 kwacha for the rehabilitation of a mother's shelter at Kwiza Rural Health Center in Mumbwa District in Central Province. District Commissioner Namukolo Hayumbo says the quick action by government demonstrates the importance it attaches to maternal health services. Details in the following report.
Kezwa Rural Health Center in Nangoma constituency has the roof to the mother's shelter blown off by the whirlwind on 30 September this year. The government, through the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, has come to the aid of the facility. Mumbwa District Commissioner Namukolo Hayumbu witnessed the delivery of the building materials.
The government has spent all in all on materials only. We've spent more than 34,000, plus other logistics, transport inclusive. The bill comes to more than 43,000, and this has been secured in less than a week. I thank the government, and I'm so happy that at least their quick response has made the people of Kezwa to appreciate government's efforts.
The quick response by the government has elated the local people.
It's blown off by the wind. So would really appreciate, because the mothers were suffering. They had nowhere else to go. Nangoma is very far and transports here are not easily available. Would really love to thank the government.
Since the time this roof was blown, the mothers were suffering with where to go. Now we thank the government.
And Kezwa Rural Health Center Environmental Health Technician Jasper Chonya now shares what transpired.
Our own little mother shelter, and then it had to move the iron sheets out of the mother shelter in different directions. Otherwise, we are so grateful for the government for this quick action which they took in bringing the iron sheets, the materials that were scattered by the wind. The iron.
Krugas Yankuru, Zanis, Mumbwa.
Now, Luapula Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Roy Mwansa says government has provided a conducive environment to enable cooperating partners contribute to the development of the country. Mr. Mwansa was speaking when he officiated at the handover ceremony of a solar-powered water system at Mushota Primary School in Kawamba District, installed by Care International. Lewis Changwe now reports.
Access to water and sanitation is key to human development, as evidenced in the Vision 2030 and the 8th National Development Plan. In this vein, Care International, with financial support from the German government through UNICEF, has constructed a borehole at Mushota Primary School at a cost of close to 400,000 kwacha.
Care, through the project, intervened by mechanizing the borehole to provide clean and safe drinking water for the school, surrounding communities and the market. Since the mechanization, 13 stand taps have been connected and spread across the school and surrounding villages, benefiting over 2,000 people.
For the first time, you have water closer to your house. It's easier to get. So now is the time to start that habit. Please, teachers, every single day, have that group hand washing. So make sure that every day students are together washing their hands every day.
Luapula Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Roy Mwansa commissioned the project.
Kawambwa Town Council, to whom we are handing over the facility to ensure quality measures are put in place for sustainability of the constructed and rehabilitated bores and water system in the district.
Pupils are thankful to government and its cooperating partners for the provision of piped water to the school.
Thank you for the piped water scheme which the government has given to Mushota Primary School with the support of the German government through UNICEF and Care International. This is a dream come true to Mushota Primary School.
Lewis Changwe, Zanis, Kawambwa.
An international non-governmental organization, Caritas Czech Republic in Lusaka, is training 25 Zambians and 25 refugees in urban agriculture to boost their business and improve their livelihoods. The training, which has elated the two communities, will see beneficiaries receive 5,000 kwacha each as start-up capital at the end of the program. Winnie Mwelwa has the details in this report.
Urban agriculture is being upheld as a solution to food crisis facing people living in cities. This initiative is believed to provide the poor with not only food, but also a source of potential income. Caritas Czech Republic Zambia has trained 50 men and women in urban agriculture drawn from the refugee and Zambian communities to enable them be self-sufficient.
We are training the urban refugees and Zambians on how they can do urban agriculture. There are two components. There's livestock, which is about the piggery and rearing of chickens, and there's also crop management, which is about gardening and then field crops like maize, soya beans and sunflower.
This is a chance for them to transform their lives. It may look small, like it's a small thing, but it's something that can change their lives. Say they start rearing chickens, 200 chickens in their backyards. That will be enough money to sustain them, you know. They can sell those chickens at 70 kwacha, 80 kwacha, depending on the prices on the markets. The profits will be able to send their children to school. They will be able to eat decent meals.
Beneficiaries have expressed delight with the program. Startup capital is expected to be given to each beneficiary at the end of the training to help them set up their own businesses. Winnie Mwelwa, Zanis, Lusaka.
Minister of Labour and Social Security, Brenda Tambatamba, says government is interested in ensuring that industrial harmony prevails in the private sector. Ms. Tambatamba has also urged employers to take care of the welfare of their workers, saying that a motivated workforce is key in enhancing productivity. The minister said this when she toured Chilanga Cement to acquaint herself with the operations of the firm. Here are the details.
Minister of Labour and Social Security, Brenda Tambatamba, undertook an impromptu visit to Chilanga Cement. The visit follows reports of increased resignations of employees in both senior and middle management. It was established during the routine visit that over 60 employees have resigned in the past 10 months.
That there's been observed a high staff turnover, 65 in this short period that have had to leave. What is happening in that place? Because we should be counting more numbers here, and we should be counting numbers also within the human resource base of this country. But when we start seeing the nationals leaving, and we start seeing an influx of expatriates coming in to do jobs that were previously done by the nationals, we get very concerned.
And Labour Commissioner has implored Chilanga Cement to strictly observe labour laws when employing workers.
Of course, we provided false information in terms of the succession plan, which again is an offence under the Act. We'll charge you the appropriate penalties. And please understand us in the context of the law.
Minister of Labour and Social Security, Acting Permanent Secretary Zakaria Lohanga, advised management to come up with a staff development plan for employees.
I heard that you have expatriates here. I want to appreciate the qualifications of these expatriates, because here in Zambia, the law does not allow to bring expatriates when we have Zambians who have those qualifications.
Meanwhile, Chilanga Cement admitted that the company has witnessed massive resignations.
We do have a long list of people who've left, some from senior management, and a transition of this nature, Honorable, normally will shake an organization.
Later, the Minister of Labour and Social Security interacted with the workers and counselled them to report any labour-related issue to the Labour Provincial Office. For Zanis, I'm Lakson Makodza.
Finally, in the news tonight, residents in Chota Ward of Chipata Compound in Lusaka have expressed concern at the rise of attacks and thefts by suspected criminals, popularly known as junkies. A resident, Mary Chanda, says people in the area are now living in fear as the women are the major victims of the criminal attacks. Jen Simalumba now reports.
This is a group of boys, popularly known as junkies. This group of boys is allegedly causing insecurity and terror among residents of Raphael Chota Ward in Lusaka's Chipata compound. They are said to have been attacking and robbing people in the area. It is believed that during the day, these boys gather here and engage in different activities, such as smoking and drinking beer, and in the night, they start terrorizing people.
Awa majankera na abatuchusha so lero luchelo vachamba nokula tutuka nangutulande atiyo seri mufumeko tabare fo kufuma
olwa majanki filikota zibala baitse bakwetama na bujanki iseji bale bakuma sikula bali namba mu bujanki fa bale tsana batafile wama sapo butekwinge watu wafuilisha kukuma na imistepera yabana ile onaika mwamona.
Raphael Chota Ward Councillor 25 Boniface Walia, who was in the area for the COVID-19 second round vaccination campaign, took time to interact with the boys. The boys said they are willing to reform if they are given an opportunity to go back to school.
Umesagirira koche oronchito kunango che na musebenza ko nivenda funa
situation yotikara mu mutatu ekara bwa kwari baba mdawa ngara ya ruburi batifata tu aba mwere boss ifo ichikurufero kwa satu besha kwa skuru paride titwa sana.
The area councillor, who urged them to stop the illicit activities, said through the increased Constituency Development Fund, CDF, they will be integrated in different educational programs.
Through the CDF, the government is increase the CDF from 1.5 to 25.7, then from 25.7 to 28 million. So ila CDF kwali baindala mosho turetu mina abana kuma skulu kwa mukusambira ma skills bambi baya mukusambira bawerera kuma skulu. So through CDF shashina ndala matitwa myafo bambi mwawerera kuma skulu bambi mwamukutita kwefya food production bambi mwamukutita ma skills ya pusana teve fine bani.
Jane Simalumba Zanis in Lusaka.
As we end the news, a recap of the headlines. All-inclusive agriculture support program to address farmers' needs. Zambians called to participate in National Day of Prayer. Mushota School receives solar-powered water system. Thank you for being with us. On behalf of the production team, this has been Mwangala Kapandola saying bye-bye.